Lately I've been thinking about this life and how it brought me here. Staring at this man in the mirror, I see him often here. Wipe my tears, only if you knew what I was going through. Only if you walked it in my shoes. Certain things don't like to talk about, but I'll always remember. The chaos in my mind turned my heart out in November. I'm surrounded by too many doors. Not sure which
Welcome to the Message Hope Podcast, where the hope stands for hearing other people's experience. My name is Adam.
My name is Mike, and today on the show we got a gentleman in the studio with a little over 3 years clean. He's working on 4. He's got an amazing story of hope, and he's here to share it with us today. So, Shane, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
And so I worked with Shane for multiple years, a lot of up and downs in that company, and really got to know Shane, me and Shane and you two, right? We all come from like the same place, just different sides of the railroad tracks, you know what I'm saying? Different parts of the city, different cultures of the city. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, man, me and Shane have been good friends ever since. Shane's been hitting me up a lot lately for going to meetings and stuff like that. And it's always been like a mutual respect and a mutual love between one another. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're grateful to have you, Shane.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Shane, let's kick it off, man. Adam mentioned that you were are you from San Bernardino?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us what it was like for you growing up. What area you grew up, with their parents at home?
You know, growing up, man, I was kind of like an awkward kid, you know, kept to myself. I was really quiet. You know, I wouldn't let people know anything that was going on in my life.
Yeah.
Very standoffish, you know, and dealt with a lot of like bullying and getting made fun of, and you know, I didn't feel good in my own skin.
Yeah.
At all, you know what I mean? And like at an early age, I had somebody buy me alcohol.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there, and I drank just about this whole case of alcohol by myself, you know. And ever since that day, it just freaking took off, you know, that addiction, man. So,
How old were you?
I was about 13.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know, there was a lot of like dysfunctional crap in the family. I mean, my dad wasn't there. Oh well, that's his loss, not mine. My mom was off and doing her thing, so my grandparents had to like try to raise me, but I just fucking ran the streets.
Yeah.
You know, so and I did that for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I know you, so I can imagine like who you were like at that age, bro, and how hard-headed you were and stubborn and probably aggressive and an asshole and all that stuff, you know? So I can imagine that they had a big task at hand with you for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Did you have other siblings?
yes, I had a brother and sister.
Okay. Did you guys all move over there to the grandparents, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, my grandparents raised pretty much me and all my cousins, you know, because our parents were often doing other things, you know. So they didn't do it around us, but they were doing it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, so. But, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of chaos, man, because, you know, I got black in me, so, you know, I have a white family and Mexican cousins as well, so that N-word was like a common freaking phrase for a lot of people, and I didn't like that.
Amongst the kids, or other people?
When we were fighting, yeah, that was coming out their mouth, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the age I am now, I mean, I don't get offended like I used to,
Right.
you know, but I took that offensive when I was younger.
Definitely.
You know, so, but yeah.
Yeah, I was made fun of for being half white my whole freaking life, dude.
I was made fun of for just being all white. I was. I grew up in an area where there wasn't a lot of kids that looked like me. So I don't think it was the reality of it. Like, I don't think they thought I was any different, but there was times where kids would talk to me like in a surfer voice.
Like, what's up, Noah?
Yeah.
Gnarly. I can't do it, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
And trying to make fun of me for being white.
Yeah.
You know? It was crazy. So what was school like for you, man?
Fuck, I didn't pay attention for nothing, bro.
No.
Were you getting in fights? Were you getting high at school?
Yes.
Like all that stuff?
Yeah, I was leaving school. Like, I wouldn't stay put, man. You know, I got that learning disability and all that. It's not an excuse, but like I couldn't pay attention for anything. You know?
Yeah.
It didn't interest me, so I wasn't gonna pay attention. So, and that, you know, continuation schools, all that, you know. So everyone was just worried about getting high and drinking and where we're gonna kick it and
Yeah.
So
And then you don't have to say what neighborhood, but you got put on a neighborhood.
Yes.
How old were you when you like got jumped in?
Bro, I was young, bro. I was young. I don't remember the age, but you know, I got exiled when I was younger because the lifestyle I was living like wasn't. It was frowned upon. Like smoking dope in my race wasn't accepted, and then like
And you're talking about black
meth,
Yeah.
meth wasn't accepted in
Yeah.
that race. Like it's
Not
normalized
then.
now.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's doing it, but like not many people are doing it in that ethnicity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I couldn't come around. So I just fucking went to all kinds of areas in the IE and just fucking, I wasn't, you know, I was thinking about it, man. I really wasn't like somebody that, you know, people wanted around.
Yeah.
Because when I came around, there was heat coming with me.
Yeah.
You know, I was just the lifestyle I was living, man. I was either stealing your shit or robbing somebody you knew, or, you know, there was just no like, if it wasn't strapped down and somebody liked it, I was getting that motherfucker. You know, so.
Or they might like it. I'm taking it just in case.
Yeah. If I like it, I'm getting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of the time in my addiction, man, I was like happy because I had somebody else's shit that I couldn't afford, you know? So I was like, fuck yeah, this is cool, you know?
This is cool, right?
And for the longest time, I dipped around with a backpack on full of stolen shit, you know?
Yeah.
And like in my addiction, it was like I was a vampire. The only time I can come out was night because if a cop seen me during the day, I was definitely going to jail.
Right.
You know? I was saying fuck you to them, flipping them off, fucking doing whatever the fuck I wanted from a young age.
Yeah. Did you have any problems with the laws of juvenile?
Bro, I've been in the system since I was a young kid.
So in and out of juvie?
Yeah, no. Not in and out, but I had my time and then freaking, I was in and out of jail a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so I wasn't getting caught for a lot of stuff I was doing because I wasn't doing it with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was no one to be like, oh, he did it, or it wasn't me, it was him.
Right.
You know, I just felt safe in my own, just with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
When did you start going into institutions?
when I was 17. I was
17.
getting arrested from 13 on.
Yeah.
But when you're young like that, your parents could,
Pick you
like
up.
back in the day, they can come and get you out of the cop car.
Yeah.
You know, so, but ever since then, it was just, and there wasn't, like I was getting locked up for drugs and alcohol a lot,
Yeah. Just for
you know, and
possession.
throwing up on cops, all sorts of shit, you know, and like, they never offered me a program or anything,
Yeah.
even though that's why I was in there.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a little different back then, I think. Now that they're more often they're offering programs, but
Yeah.
but now, yeah,
I think they're starting to understand, bro. You could lock somebody up. It doesn't change the disease of addiction. It doesn't give them the proper treatment that they need, you know?
yeah,
Now I think they're even offering people who don't have drug crimes. You know what I'm saying? That I say, hey, I need help. You know what I'm saying? I did this because I was high. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
They'll coax you into it.
Yeah, for
Your
sure.
attorney will be like, "Were you high when you did that?" and winking at you like, "Say yes.
yeah.
We'll get you out of jail."
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So did you finish school?
No,
No.
I was in special ed, so every year they passed me on to the next grade, but they started me off with the basics every year. So like I was far behind in credits and all that. So, you know, but school was just pretty much the place to go and fight real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get suspended, do whatever, sell whatever I had. You know, it's I wasn't in school to learn.
Yeah. And you said continuation school. Was that here in San Bernardino?
Yes.
Sierra?
8th Street community. It ain't open anymore, but yeah.
Oh, the adult school. Was it?
Nah, it was like a high school, bro.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
I went to Sierra High School. I mean, I didn't go much, but this past Friday, I got to go back and talk to those kids and kind of tell
nice.
them about our program and where to find us and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's where my using started, was in school, But so what kind of substances were you using into your adulthood?
Meth, PCP, angel dust, weed, alcohol. I wasn't really big on downers, so I didn't do the downers.
Yeah.
I was taking over-the-counter meds to get high and whatever I could.
Pretty much
Huffing air
anything.
freshener and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What was were you always able to like live at home with the grandparents? Or
I
did
was
you ever-
running the streets, man.
Oh, so you were just out there.
Yeah, I my family didn't want me at the house, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'd call the cops and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like this dude's in the house and I don't want him here.
Yeah.
And like lock the doors and I would chill anywhere I could find like a plug-in for my phone.
I like that, bro. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I ran the streets a lot and like I've heard family members say, "I wish you were dead."
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was just a freaking menace, bro. Like, I didn't care about anybody, man. Like, even when my daughter came into this world, man, I was in the bathroom fucking picking at my face. You know what I mean? Like, when she was born, like, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I really, like, I didn't care about anything but getting high and drunk. Like, you couldn't take me to a store without me stealing alcohol. And you couldn't take me to anybody's house without me stealing their shit. Like, that was a daily fucking thing for me, man.
Yeah.
Straight criminal to the core. And every year it just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And not just criminal, but violent,
Yeah.
right? Because I know you have a very violent streak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My resume ain't that nice. Like, how I lived was frowned upon for sure because it was like, I can't trust this dude to be by me.
Yeah.
I can't trust him in anybody's house we go in. Like, that's how I provided to get high was stolen shit. I found out what you liked, and I went on a mission to get that shit. I didn't care how long it took, man.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
found
and not-
myself in the same situation.
Yeah, not every use and drink was like getting high.
Yeah.
As long as I could fucking taste that shit,
It was relief.
I'd be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, so I ain't gonna say I was high every day of my addiction. Like I was able to get that taste real quick or that one beer, and then I'd focus on getting the next,
Yeah.
or the next bag or whatever.
Yeah.
So that doing that for so long, bro, it was a waste of fucking time, bro. Now that I think about it,
Yeah. You spend a lot of time in jails and prison?
I've spent a lot of days, bro.
Yeah.
Like month here, month there, you know what I mean? But I was in there a lot.
Yeah.
And it was because of using and drinking. Now, the stealing and shit like that, I wasn't getting busted for.
Oh, wow.
Even though I was fucking doing it on a regular basis. Like, even when I would do it up in the mountains that I live in, there would be snow in the street, right? And you could see me leave the fucking house, go on this trail around the mountain, and
Yeah.
come right fucking back. So, like, that's how stupid I was. That I'd leave a fucking trail, you know what I mean? Of, like, my footsteps, hopping in everything I could.
Cars
and all
and
the way
everything.
back, yeah.
Yeah. I remember there was a time
Fucking shit.
they must have been cracking down on it up there because I was in and out of jail a lot. And then we didn't really see too many people from the mountain communities. And then they must have had like a task force or something because then there was all kinds of people from up there. And it was all residential burglaries. Everybody. Robbing vacation houses and all that stuff, stealing dirt bikes in people's garages. It was like a flood of that. I don't know if they got some more cops up there or what, but for a little
No.
bit there was...
It's just they got the cameras now. Everyone's got the cameras, and like I think about it to this day. If I were to fucking relapse again and go out there and do this shit, I'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
Cause people ain't fucking playing no more.
Yeah.
They see you on their Ring camera robbing their shit, they're probably gonna shoot you, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's got guns up there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how long did your using last? Like if you could put a number of years on it.
13 to 30. Then I relapsed at 35,
How old are you now, Shane?
39.
Okay.
So pretty much almost all my life, bro.
Yeah. So you had some stint of recovery before,
Yes.
from 30 to 35?
Yes. I had 5 years. But, you know, my mentality was so fucked up.
Yeah.
I was doing shit that my old self was fucking comfortable with doing. And every time somebody talk about drugs and alcohol, my mouth would salivate.
Yeah.
So I
So-
was like, I ain't ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What age were you when you had your daughter?
20.
20. And then you got clean at 30?
Well, at what was it, 23 or she was like 1 or something or 3, bro. I had an ultimatum to go and do a treatment center. They were like, either you're gonna keep getting what you're getting, and that's pretty much nothing, or you're gonna go and get yourself clean because we ain't fucking with you.
And
that's
who
how
gave-
my family was.
Oh, that was your family that told you that?
Yeah. So they got me into a program. I was there for 3 years.
In the same program?
I was in a program for a year and 3 months, and then they sent me to a Bible college for a year and 3 months. And my mentality was still fucked up.
Yeah.
They didn't want me going outside in the public. They were like, "You're just not fucking right in the head." Like, yeah, and
Did some of the behaviors change? Like the
today
then. Like the stealing and the,
I was still talking the same, all that shit, you know.
yeah.
Still thinking the same, still moving the same. I was just clean and sober.
Yeah.
But I was still living like the same life. I wasn't doing meetings, nothing like that. You know, so
During
yeah.
that
That wasn't really clean. You know what I mean? That was, you know, I was sober, but
yeah.
I wasn't working any kind of program.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't consider. I mean, some people might not even say that's a relapse.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's why I talk about the one with the 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, because any time I went and got clean, it wasn't like a program.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so the one I consider a relapse is the one where I had 5 years.
Yeah. Okay. And did you go to treatment that time?
No,
No. So you had
no, I had Adam, you know, part of the program, and like my sponsor at the time
okay.
talked me into going. So I was like, you know what, it took a couple weeks, but I was like, all right, I'll show up, you know.
Yeah. To a meeting?
You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So through all this time, did you continue to have a relationship with your daughter through those 3 years and that?
You know, honestly, when I was using?
No, like the 3 years that you were clean or
The
abstinent.
5 years I was, I was definitely participating in her life, for sure.
Okay.
Like, we were hanging out a lot.
Yeah.
And, I mean, my daughter is a big reason why I am still pretty much alive, man.
Right.
You know, because it's not all about me. If I were to go out, she'd have the same type of upbringing I did
Right.
with her grandparents raising her.
Right.
And you know, me, I take real pride in my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still learning how to be a dad. I didn't have that growing up.
Yeah.
I had that freaking hard love. Not really. Like, I can't be. I don't know. The physical touch from people is kind of weird to me still.
Yeah.
I wasn't touched like that growing up. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to even give that.
Right.
Right.
You know, like in life, man, I became callous to a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't freaking like the emotions that people feel, crying, laughing. It's just, It's not there for me, man.
You must hate being around me. Yeah.
I don't know how to act in those situations. Somebody says something funny and I don't laugh, and it's just like, what the fuck's wrong with this dude, you know? And
Yeah. Well, I think we teach ourselves that those emotions and feelings aren't relevant and aren't useful in the situation.
well, nah, like Nipsey said, man, I've been through every emotion. I've felt every emotion, but like those feelings of those emotions aren't there anymore, man. They're not. Like I've had shit happen in my recovery that would break some people, man.
Yeah.
Like you can walk in my shoes any day. Like my stuff is not rare. Like a lot of people have been through it, but being in my head,
Yeah.
that might damage some people, man. Because you know what? I go through a lot of shit.
All
You
in your
know,
head.
and I keep it to myself. I don't fucking reach out. I don't ask for advice. I don't do none of that.
Yeah.
I'm not out here fucking people off, you know what I mean, or getting in bad situations, but it doesn't matter where I go, man. I'm fucked up in the head. I'm
Right.
really big on that mental health because, like, out there, I was talking to myself. You know, what people would laugh at, bro, I was fucking doing that shit.
Yeah.
Like, having conversations with myself in front of fucking people, bro. Like, I'm in a room where I can talk to people, but I'd rather talk to myself.
Yeah.
I seen this video where it said, would you rather pour out your heart to a woman or a friend or whatever, or talk to a brick wall? And then it shows a video of the dude talking to the brick wall. And it's like, bro, that's how a lot of the shit is understood, bro. Because a lot of people, communication, man, they'll talk to you, man, but the comprehension
Right.
isn't there.
Yeah.
Like, you can explain, and if they don't want to understand, they're not going to understand.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I mean, stuff is tough, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like I put in a lot of work these days.
Yeah.
You know, that's what this program is work.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, man, it's I just get up and fight the fight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his mom, your mom, is also in recovery.
Yes.
Right. So is Mike's mom.
Yeah.
Right. I actually met Shane's mom way before I met Shane because me and Shane's mom used to work together at the first treatment center I ever worked at, and she was always good people. She would always talk about her son Shane, but we never like crossed paths. I think I might have seen you at meetings a few times. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until we started working together, you know. And I do want to say this: who you are today, right, is completely different than who you were fucking 9 years ago, right? Because who you were 9 years ago, bro, you couldn't even get a word out this dude. You know what I'm saying? For real, I'd be like, "How you doing, Shane?" "Good." I'm like, "All right, you chilling today?" "Yeah, bro." And like that's kind of the whole conversation. And we used to work nights, bro. So we used to be in this little guard shack. Remember that shit? We used to be in this little guard shack, vaping it like a motherfucker, right? And all we'd have to do is like every hour, we'd go check on the houses. We had because it's a big, you know, Serenity, right?
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like this big campus, and we'd have to walk. And literally, that was like the content of our conversations at night. Was like, it's like, "You gonna go to a meeting tomorrow, Shane?" "Yeah, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was it. So I say that, right, to say this is that like who you are today, you could tell you put a lot of work in, bro. Yeah. Even, and that's not even saying like the last 9 years. Like I'm talking about like the last, you know, almost 4 years, right? Like you put in a lot of work because who you were before you relapsed, right, is completely different than who you are today. And last time you had 5 years, and then just 3 years, you could see a big difference from that 5 to 3. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's dope, bro. I think that it's a testament to like who you are, right? Because like you're talking about mental health, right? So I'm not gonna, you know, say anything, right? Because I don't know what you want to talk about or what you don't. But I know that mental health is something that you've always struggled with, bro. And mental health and addiction, bro, go hand in hand, right? Addiction is a form of mental health, bro. Like a normal, sane person don't shove needles in their arm and drink themselves to death, bro. There's mental illness going on with that, bro. It's a part of insanity, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then some people come in, right, and pieces of who we are, or pieces of who we were before we got loaded are gone, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's really hard. Like I've known people, bro, who like refuse to take meds, and then keep relapsing and relapsing and relapsing, right? And then I know the same person who, when they got clean, they took meds this time, and they were able to get clean time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't want to take meds. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Bro, some of us have to, bro. Some of us need to take those meds in order for us to be stable enough to get some principles of recovery and a God of our understanding in our life. But because if we're just coming in here fucking raw dogging life, bro, and I'm not saying everybody needs medication. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is if we do need medication, we need to listen to a doctor, bro. Yeah. Right? There is no AA doctors. There is no fucking NA doctors, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's important, right? Like even... Like I work in the treatment field, right? And then like clients will come in, bro, be like, oh, like I don't want to take this. I don't feel like I need this. I don't want to take medication. But we're not talking about taking medication for the rest of your life. We're talking about taking this medication to help you help stabilize your mood, right? So the first time that you get a fucking a wind that blows that you don't fucking like, you're not off running getting loaded again, bro. You need something to keep you grounded. You know what I'm saying? For however long. Some people got to take it forever. Some people don't, right? But the medication is there to help you stay grounded, bro, in reality and in the moment so that you're not fucking flying off the handle the first time something doesn't go right or the first time you get a negative thought, a negative feeling, negative energy, whatever it could be, right? And I think some people are so against it that they're being detrimental to themselves, bro. They're harming themselves by not taking suggestions. I just got off the phone with this young kid, bro. He has almost a year, right? He got kicked out of a treatment center because of his mental health, right? And he refused to take. But so he's been on the streets, bro, and he's literally been staying clean, right? And we're talking. I was like, bro, you need medication, dude. Like, stop fucking around, bro. There's something going on, and there's nothing wrong with that, bro. Right? There's it even, you know, even addiction, bro. Our literature, I'm gonna quote the literature. Fuck it, you know, it says. We agree that there is nothing shameful about being an addict as long as we accept our dilemma and take positive action, bro. Right? So the shameful part isn't having mental health. The shameful part isn't being an addict. The shameful part is knowing that we have those problems and we're unwilling to address them, bro. Right? Because I'll tell you one thing. Well, whatever you're doing is working, right? And whatever you're doing is keeping you in your daughter's life. So sometimes we have to humble ourselves, take those meds, work that program, pray to this God, you know, listen to the old timer, fucking follow suggestions, right? We have to humble ourselves to be able to do that, to be able to create a life that is actually fucking worth living today, bro. You know what I'm saying? If we fucking keep running off our own fucking ideas, oh no, I don't need meds, I'm different, bro. We're gonna keep fucking the people around us up, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep harming them, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, bro, I wish that somebody in early recovery would have talked to me about something like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because now that I'm counseling and doing all this stuff, right? Like looking at diagnosis and looking at like PTSD. You talked about PTSD when we were on the car. Like looking at the traits and the symptoms of PTSD, bro. 100% PTSD I suffer from, right? I still suffer from it, right? Yeah. Depression, right? 100% clinical depression, bro. Severe, because there was times in early recovery where I would suffer for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, bro, not knowing why I felt the way that I felt. Luckily, like I had enough grit and enough courage to keep moving forward. But bro, I wish that someone would have talked to me about mental health and early recovery. I wish that people weren't, especially 12 years ago, bro. Yeah. 12 years ago, people were like, it was so like cut and dry and black and white, and if you take a pill, you're not, you know, all that fucking bullshit, bro. And it's like, bro, if somebody would have talked about that, man, maybe I would have got some help in early recovery that could have made things maybe a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, right? Do I take back my early recovery? No, it taught me a lot. I'm grateful that I made it through, right? But early recovery, bro, I suffered a lot, dude. Right? Even like I share with clients, bro, like when I first got clean, bro, and years into my recovery, every single male was a threat, bro. Not one person that I shake hands or hug and introduce myself, especially when I first met you, I took you as a threat. My first thought meeting another male was, can I beat this fool's fucking ass? If I can't, what can I grab in this room to fucking beat his fucking face in if I have to, bro? Right? That is a trauma response to the neighborhood and the environment that I grew up in, bro. Right? Straight up, bro. Right? But for me, right, I didn't seek therapy. I did therapy for DCFS because I had to, and it was really, to me, bullshit. because I wasn't comfortable talking to professionals at that stage in my recovery. The only people I was comfortable talking to were people who were fucked up like me. But and yes, I worked through all that, right? I'm not saying that you can't work through all that, but what I'm saying is that if I was given the correct information about some of the things that were happening up here, even to this day, bro, there's still moments and days where I feel like, man, maybe I need to be on something, bro. Maybe there is something deeper going on in here, bro. And I talked to my sponsor about it, and we're talking very deeply about this right now, right? But like, there's just something that goes on in my head, bro, that it's really hard for me to describe, and negative thoughts over and over, and I'm trying like all these like counseling techniques that I've learned to teach, so now I'm trying to like teach them to myself. But my point is, right, of all that whole fucking, I go on those little dumbass rants all the time, but the whole point of this, right, is that you could address substance use, but if you have underlying mental health issues and you're not addressing that, bro, you're gonna fuck yourself every single time, bro.
Well, that's the thing, man. I was self-medicating, and I didn't feel good in my own skin, man. And what drugs and alcohol did was help me feel comfortable in my own skin. I didn't use it because I was like, oh, I'll be sociable with people. Like, I'm not a fucking people person as it is, man. And my social battery runs out quick, you know. But yeah, man, it's But the mental health, I've struggled with that all my life, you know, and it just got worse and worse. You know, a lot of my scars are self-inflicted. You know, from that early age, doing what I was fucking doing, I can't play the victim for shit. Like, oh, it's his fault, her fault. If, oh, you act this way, I'll be better. Nah, I was fucked up in the head, man, for a long fucking time, and I still am. But I have different means to kind of balance that out. You know, I'm still struggle mentally, but those wounds I have, I don't let them bleed onto my daughter, on the people around me. I don't wear that shit on my sleeve. Like, a lot of people won't know. Like, I got that resting bitch face, but I could be as happy as fucking. I could be happy as hell. The emotions aren't there, like on my face. Yeah. You might be able to read if I think you're talking some bullshit because my eyes might raise or something, you know. But like, yeah, mentally, man, it's a. I'm not gonna say I'm battling demons. I kind of like get a respectable relationship with them. You know what I mean? Right. And you know, I still have those thoughts, those fucked up mentality thoughts. When something happens, I'm like, oh, fuck this, and then I gotta think back and be like, all right. You know, that wasn't the right thought, you know what I mean? Or that ain't something you should fucking say, because I can't be polite with people. I don't know how to be polite, bro. Like, hey, I don't like that. Like, I'll fucking get aggressive quick as fuck, you know, and out of pocket, you know? But me being in recovery and trying to live and grow, I can't be acting some fucking stupid way, bro, or treating people foul or making contracts with people when I may be doing good. Yeah. And, you know, opening the door, saying hi to somebody. If they don't say anything back, oh, fucking well, you did your part.
Right.
You know, don't have contracts with people. If I do this, you have to do this. No. Yeah. Like, be good to be good. You know what I mean? We, in addiction, may never be able to fit in this society, bro. Right. Yeah. Like, what we have to talk about is not fucking normal, and it's not normalized. Right. Like, people will be like, man, you're kind of fucked up. I don't know if I want you around like my family. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, bro, it's that's what you got to deal with, and especially being in the mental health aspect, man. Yeah. A lot of, you know, what I have to talk about, I mean, I can go on rants about the gym, recovery, how to participate in life, but like a lot of this other shit, I'm fucking not interested in. Yeah. You know, I'm just not there yet.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question, Shane. When you got those 5 years, what did your program look like? What was working for you at the time?
You know, I was doing everything.
Doing all the things.
I was doing meetings, talking to my sponsor on a regular basis, doing my steps, work. You know, the thoughts I had about drugs and alcohol, I can't sit in a meeting with you, what's that word called?
Glorifying?
Romanticizing?
Romanticizing drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, bro, you know what I mean? You wouldn't see it on my face, but I'd definitely be having to swallow spit, you know? So I was just like, fuck it. One day I put my 2 weeks in at work. I made it to like day 8. Pulled Adam aside. I was like, I fucking drank, bro.
Yep.
I mean, that ain't a reason. Like, you can't get fired from a job for drinking.
No.
But I can't work in recovery and try to tell you to get sober or show you how to get sober if I'm not sober. I just, that isn't a work that you could be drinking or using in. If you're trying to get somebody else to change their life, you can't be doing those substances.
It happens though.
It does.
Yeah. But you couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't feel right.
Yeah. I heard of a person that was like the head of a treatment center
Yeah, me too.
would have wine with her dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was completely all right, but
I
I mean,
else.
if you, it's normal for you, but I don't think drinking a beer at breakfast is normal.
And I mean, and you're right? Like, because I think, like, I've heard of other counselors and this and that. Like, luckily, I'm not around. I've worked at a fucked up treatment centers before. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the negative workings behind those things. But I've also known people who are in high places in treatment centers who, I mean, evidently could hide it really fucking well. You know what I'm saying? It could, like you said, that couldn't be me, because when I think about relapse, I'm like, well, the first thing I have to do is like call my boss and be like, hey, like, I can't come in, dude. Like, it sounds ridiculous, but like, I'll use anything to make sure I stay clean, bro. If I got to use that excuse, like, I can't lose my job, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, I got to stay clean, you know? I remember early recovery, I used to use not having enough money to stay clean, right? I'd be like, man, okay, look it. I got $150. I need at least a ball, because if I get high, I want to get high. I don't want no $20 bag, right? If I do that, I'm going to be weird, right? Because I get really weird when I'm high, right? So I'm going to need a motel room, right? Well, if I get a motel room, I can't just have it one night, dog. I'm trying to fucking be weird for a few days. And I'm like, well, I'm also going to need a bitch, because I ain't going to fucking just be fucking watching porn for 3 days straight. And then I calculate what the money I have and how much that's going to cost. I'm like, man, I don't even got enough money. This is early recovery. This is like my first year. I'm like, I don't even got enough money to get high the way I want to get high, so it ain't even worth it, bro. Because like chasing a dub at a time didn't sound appealing, but having a handful and a bitch in a motel did sound appealing in early recovery.
You know, see, the thing with me is the lifestyle is very attracting.
Yeah.
That's why I can't be in areas that you know, even though I'm in an area I use now, I still, you know, it's
a different community.
hanging out will pull me in. Not necessarily the drugs and alcohol, but the lifestyle. I'm like, all right, yeah. Like that making money fucking, yeah, by any means.
Yeah.
Would turn scandalous hella fast. And then I'll probably start using and drinking again.
Yeah.
You know, so.
What do you think led up to your last relapse? Was it just the cravings? Was it just like that?
Probably the cravings, bro.
Yeah. Maybe a little isolation?
I isolate, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said in that meeting, man, I abuse that thing, but that helps me a lot, because I get to know myself, bro, and get to be able to learn how to react. And you know, I'm just, you know, I go against the grain, but also like I learn to adapt with whatever happens.
Right.
Like, oh, this is happening, all right, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
You know, I just fucking lace up for everything.
Yeah.
You know, because anytime I try to plan something, that shit falls through for sure, because something else pops up. So I try not to plan shit. We need to get this done. Let's get it done now.
Yeah.
So what was your last relapse like? Because I know you drank first.
Bro, it was bad. I drank first, went to hit up my buddy, man. They were having a kid's birthday party. I show up. The first thing I said was, hey, do we need to get alcohol? He's all, no, we got enough. Bro, I swear I was sitting around that bonfire. We weren't having a fire, but there was a bonfire circle.
Yeah.
Bro, and I kept every 5 minutes. Hey, you want another one? You want another? I cleared that fucking cooler, bro, and like right beside me was, you know how you just set the bottle down? a big old circle of bottles, bro. And like everyone in the circle fucking looking at me, bro, and like feeling, you know, when you get to that point where you drinking a lot, you just feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All eyes on me, bro, and I just, yeah, bro, it was that was a crazy day, man. I was doing 10 from the 71 to Riverside. I was doing 10 miles an hour on the freeway.
Yeah. And you made it?
I made it, you know, wasn't in good time, but it was in the time I made it, you know.
Yeah.
And then that night turned into just a never-ending thing. We went to the club, and I just wanted to drink, and to where I couldn't see anymore.
Yeah.
Then there was no end. When I started smoking the dope, I was smoking it, and fucking the people that smoked it on a regular basis looked at me and said, I think you're doing a little too much. You should slow down. And I'm like, nah, I ain't there yet. You know what I mean? I kept fucking hitting
One
it.
more.
Yeah,
One
I
more.
kept hitting it. And they, you know, sucked up too. They were sucked up. And like, you know, they were telling me you're doing too much. And I was like, I ain't fucking doing enough. Hold on. Like,
Trying to make up for the last
Yeah.
5 years.
and it wasn't like, hey, I was fucking waiting for you. It was, damn, where have you been?
Yeah.
You know, like, my addiction ain't waiting for me like that.
Yeah.
You know, I said it in the meeting, like, when you walk into your Connect's house, they're going to be like, fuck, I ain't seen you in a minute. Where you been at?
Yeah.
Not fuck, I've been waiting for you.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, they got other clientele, bro.
Yeah.
You know, but, yeah, it's, the relapse was bad. It was only 2 months, but, like, it
Got dark.
was bad, bro. I wasn't, like, sucked up or anything. You see me right after. But there was fentanyl in the dope, so good thing I didn't slam it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was, like, nodding out. And on dope, you don't nod out like that unless you're up for a few days.
Right.
And I was only up for a few hours,
All right.
you know, so good thing I didn't IV that shit.
Yeah.
All right. And then you said you because I remember you telling me this. You like the dope wasn't working. You ended up flushing a lot of it, right?
Yeah, I flushed it.
Yeah. And then that's when you were done.
I was done.
Yeah.
And I hit you up a few days later and was like, I got this much time.
Yeah.
I was still talking to my sponsor on a regular basis, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he spoke to me the day before I fucking went out, and I was like, hey, I drank, and he was like, what? So how was that? Like, he would fucking do that. He'd let me experience my shit. He wouldn't be like, oh, don't fucking do that. He'd be like, well, tell me how that fucking shit goes. Call me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, you should come to the meeting. I just fucking started coming to the meeting, and I haven't fucking left since, bro.
Yeah.
I don't go every 7 days, but I go quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because what works for me in the beginning, I know what fucking works. Why would I stop doing what works?
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to fix something that ain't broken, man. Like, I'm not going to be the one in the program saying I used to do this back in my recovery. I used to do this and give the bare minimum because you have time. That ain't going to be me, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be the same today as I was yesterday. Because there was lessons I need to.
Internalize.
Yes.
And learn from. Yeah.
Now, I still make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I'm human, bro. But that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm the same as I was in year 1 and year 3,
Right.
that's a you problem, bro.
Yeah.
That ain't the fucking people around you.
Say that again.
That's a
Say that
fucking you
again.
problem, bro. If you ain't fucking changing, and people I have on my phone that I hit up on a regular basis, I don't talk to Adam every day, but he's not an emergency contact, bro. Anybody I have in the program that I talk to on a regular basis are not emergency contacts.
Yeah.
My prayer life ain't an emergency contact. I don't pray for a different life. I don't really ask for anything but protection and health.
Yeah.
You know, I pray for the people I pray about. I'm not going to tell them, like, hey, I'm fucking praying for you. Like, I'm going to continue to do that. When if something happens, I'm going to be like, damn, what's God trying to show him? You know what I mean? Or something like that. But,
Right.
like, I don't want a relationship where I'm just calling you to fucking get advice.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't fuck with you like that, I ain't hitting you up one time,
Yeah.
pouring out my fucking life to you. Like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that though.
No.
Like prayer's not an emergency contact for
It's
me.
not.
People aren't emergency contact, right? You know, I shared about it Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to build relationships with people over the phone so that when there is an emergency, right, we already have that relationship established, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Me and Mike, we know exactly where we are in our recovery. Yeah. We know where we are in our finances. We know where we are in our families. We know where we are in our relationships. Like, we know that, bro. So, like, when I call Mike or when I call my sponsor, Willie, right, like, he already knows, right, where I'm at mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like having emergency contact, it doesn't set the tone. And not only that, but then there's so much to catch up on instead of getting right to the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's so much like, okay, well, let me tell you what happened a month ago, and then 3 weeks ago, and then like you're trying to catch them up, and by the time someone tries to, like, I'll give you an example. Like, by the time someone's trying to catch me up on their life, I'm like, I'm already lost in the story, bro.
Yeah.
If you would have just been calling me every day since a month ago or every other day a month ago, then I would know exactly where you're at, and we go straight to the solution, and you go about your fucking way, and so can I, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like having people just as emergency contact is bad practice, bro. Having meetings that are just emergency. You know what? I haven't been to a meeting, and look, I'm not trying to talk down on nobody, but like you said, for me, right, I refuse to be that guy, right? Because I see it all the time where they like step away from the program, and then for me, I feel like that is still my addiction. I'm still being selfish. I'm still coming to the program, getting what I need instead of feeding other people, bro.
Like I've come up with this idea, not bashing the Catholic Church, but AA and NA is not a Catholic church. You don't just go out, do whatever the fuck you want, fucking live the fucking weekend and come and fucking confess everything you did.
Yeah.
And it's not like that, bro. It ain't a fucking 2-day. Your recovery has no days off.
Talk about it.
If you're not in a meeting, you're still living your recovery in your life.
Yeah.
And not talking about it. Like, I'm not going to sit there and fucking talk AA with my daughter or NA with my daughter. Like, hey, check this the fuck out. I'm going to show what I've learned.
Yeah.
Talk about stuff that I've learned. Show her experience. Give her experience. Try to help her. But my daughter, I can't control her. She's going to live the life she's going to live. I just got to be by her side every step of the way.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody's like, hey, you want me to buy you a drink, or hey, do you smoke? It's like, not today.
Yeah.
I'm good. Not today.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, hey, well, I'm fucking clean and sober, bro. Like, I'd appreciate if you didn't fucking do that. Nah.
Yeah.
Let people live in what they live in, man.
Yeah.
Because I am no fucking better. Like, I've said this a few times. I'm no better than an addict or alcoholic who's still using. I have programming. I'm better off.
Yeah.
But I am no fucking better than you, bro. Like, if I see you on the side of the street, I'm not going to be like, oh, fuck that dude, man. He's fucking, he smoked the fuck out. Nah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking help you, but, like, man, I hope you find a way.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be better, and I'm not entitled, or I'm not going to be like, well, fucking, I'm clean and sober, so my daughter should fucking respect me. Nah.
Yeah.
You got to build that shit, bro, and I'm still building that.
Yeah.
Coming into her life in 2016, I haven't left.
Yeah.
But she was like 14 then, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so much of that life I missed out on.
Yeah.
And, with my mom and dad, we were left to my grandparents. With me and her mom, she was left to her grandparents. So what is my job when I come back, clean and sober? To take that off their hands.
Right.
If I'm trying to get right and I'm just worried about myself getting right and I'm like, fuck that, and I push her aside, like, how's my recovery, bro?
Yeah. Right. I'm kind of at that crossroads right now with the grandparents always being there while I was absent, and then I'm kind of taking the reins back and taking that responsibility off of them. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary situation.
Like, every time I got locked up, like this last time when I got 3 years, I only did 9 months because I had so much fucking time accumulated.
Yeah.
From the GBI I had, and but I was in and out of jail during that fucking time, like, bro, back to back, fucking, and I would write her. She couldn't fucking really read, you know what I mean? I'd write her, I'd call her. That was the only person I called.
Yeah.
I'd call her, try to talk to her, and she'd be like, you know, where you at? And I'm like, I'm on a fucking timeout. You know, when you get in trouble and you go on a timeout, that's what happened with me. I got in trouble and I'm on a timeout.
Yeah.
You know, but when I'm using and drinking, I forgot the word, but like I push everyone aside.
Yeah.
Steal everybody's shit. Like I was just a fucking menace, bro. You couldn't fucking take me anywhere. Like you'd take me over somebody's house one time and they'd be hitting up the person that took me over there and be like, hey, my fucking cell phone's gone and like there's shit missing from my room and they're like, Shane, you do that shit? And I'm fucking gone, bro.
Fucking guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to ask you about this time. You have a lot of cravings now?
No.
Why do you think that is?
Bro. Because I play the take back, bro. And I don't crave it. It's kind of disgusting for me. I ain't gonna sit in a room where you're smoking because I love the taste and smell of that shit. But I'm not gonna put myself in a place where I shouldn't be.
Right.
You know, so there's limits in my recovery because I didn't do anything to get high and drunk. There was where I draw the fucking line. Like, no, I ain't gonna do that. So in recovery, I'm not gonna go in somebody's fucking house and try to get them to go to the program. Like, I am not trying to get my motherfucking connect sober or clean.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm gonna come over, bro, and we're gonna talk while you're smoking. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you about the fucking program. You know, so no, I don't really have the cravings, bro. And when an issue rises in life, or I lose somebody or something like that, my solution is using and drinking.
Yeah.
Because I know that gets me nowhere.
Yeah.
What's out there for me is jails and death.
Yeah.
Death is your last fucking bottom, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's no more bottom after that. There's no more you.
Yeah. Was there at any point where you kind of realized like, wow, I haven't craved it or thought about using?
You know, when people are talking about it in the meeting, that thought comes.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm on my own, I'm like, yeah, I'll give everything fucking away quick.
Yeah.
I don't have much, bro. Like in recovery right now, in this moment, I don't have much, bro. The promises are coming true, though.
Yeah.
Like I'm starting to mentally get better. My relationships are starting to get better now. In recovery, I fucking lost a lot, bro. Like I've had a lot of shit snatched from me. You know, people that were important in my life. You know, living situation, jobs. You know, and it just my vehicle at one fucking point was gone. Like I've seen what a bottom feels like in recovery. I almost died in recovery, bro.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
I almost lost my fucking life. My daughter had to see me in the ICU.
Yeah.
Damn.
You're septic, right?
I had sepsis. My liver was failing, and I had a inflamed pancreas.
Yeah. Was that from using, or was it
I
just
don't know what
happened?
it was from, bro.
Yeah.
It was bad though. I went to work throwing up. Still did my fucking shift and everything. I was like protruding, like the
The Exorcist.
Exorcist. It was coming out like this, bro.
Yeah.
It was bad, bro. But like that was also an eye opener.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there on my deathbed, bro. You know, and like I took a lot of shit for granted, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't fucking do that anymore, bro. I don't. I'm trying to write a good fucking story right now.
Oh yeah.
Something my family can be proud of, because I wasn't somebody to be proud of in my addiction. I was actually an embarrassment. You know, I'm not going to do that to the people around me.
Yeah.
That's like the last hoorah. It's a legacy we leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No matter how old we, you know, like I want my kids personally to be talking to their kids about their grandfather.
No.
That makes me a little emotional, but I do. Like I want, yeah, I want to leave a lasting, like a lasting effect on them for the rest of their life. Like, you know, for them to like sit down and talk about how great their grandfather was, and hopefully I have an opportunity to raise, you know, not raise, but like be there with my grandkids and all that stuff. But maybe my grandkids will talk to my great grandkids about how good Papa was and how much he loved them and how much, you know, he was there for them and always provided. And, you know, that's like the last, that's the last hoorah.
You know,
the impact we leave on the world.
Yeah, it sucks though for the people around me, because I don't talk about fucking anything I'm going through. I don't fucking explain shit. Like I was telling you earlier, I don't ask for advice on stuff I'm going through, and I'm even like that with my daughter. Like, she's the only person that makes me fucking smile though, bro. I don't smile a lot, bro. My days are not full of fucking talking to people. You know what I mean? I'll talk to some people at the gym, but like most of my fucking days are hella quiet.
Right.
I don't watch TV. I watch motivational videos on my off time, bro. Like when I'm done handling my errands or responsibilities, I'll sit there and watch motivational videos, and they'll lift me up. Because I do a lot of clapping for myself. I really do.
Do you want to get to a point where you reach out and ask for advice? And
I do, bro. I beat myself up for that shit. Not throughout the day.
Yeah.
When I'm active with people and shit like that, I don't beat myself up. But when I get in that bed, and I'm like, you know what, fuck, you know, and I just pray about it. And I'm like, fucking help me, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be fucking better mentally.
Yeah.
And you'll get there, bro, because like where you were, I'm telling you, bro, you're a completely different person today. Like, honestly, Shane, who you were in the last recovery, I wouldn't have asked you to come on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, bro, because we would have had like a dry ass, no conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, so just knowing that improvement, right? And like you said, bro, if you're the same person today, or if you're the same person a year from now who you are today, then there's a problem there, bro. It doesn't have to come with money. It doesn't have to come with, but like there should always be some kind of mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical growth, bro. Always.
That's why I seen this video that said fucking, besides all the fucking material shit and that exterior shit, like you're a man, bro. You should fucking stand for that character. For character, taking care of yourself and like that stacks up a currency that nobody could fucking steal, bro. That shit'll never die out unless you fucking do it.
That's fire.
That who you stand for, your boundaries, how you stand on your 10 toes, all that, bro, is like nobody can fucking take that shit from you.
you can give it away, though.
Yes, that's the fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know, just like in the program, freely give what you've been given. You know what I mean? Like, tell people there is a fucking way, man. And there's a lot of people in NA and the program that have been through some shit that are alive today, living a second life full of fucking grace.
Yeah.
Like the shit that we have, like the shit I see that Adam has, he probably feels like he doesn't deserve that shit.
I feel that way all the time.
Yeah. But Adam's fucking grew, bro. He's like, when I think program, bro, I wasn't fucking shown love like I show love to people. Care for people, try to understand everybody, like that never.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't the person you wanted to do it for.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna love this dude, you know, he's fucking so, like, he's cuddle material and shit, you know? He's so romantic, you know what I mean? Nothing like that, you know what I mean? But, like, to be able to show that and show that the program does work.
Yeah.
Well, you're proof.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not, yeah.
We all are.
Yeah.
You know, and, like, showing up for that little girl on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of what I do is for her. I sacrifice a lot, bro. You know, because I want her to have a life with no fucking like issues or toxicity or anything. Like, I don't even raise my voice at my daughter. And I would raise my voice with fucking anybody, but there's something about her where it's like, yeah, I don't want to be the voice in the back of my daughter's head that is fucking negative as fuck.
That's like that video. You probably seen it, where it talks about not yelling at your kids and expecting them to have a good day at school. Or,
Yep, I have seen that video.
Yeah, that one hit me pretty
You don't
hard,
want to
bro.
be the critic.
Yeah.
You
You
want
want to be their
like,
inner voice.
You want them to be like, I should call my dad about this. Not, I shouldn't fucking call him because he's going to fucking snap at me.
Yeah.
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 He's going to get all aggressive.
I got some word too. Yeah.
Well, they don't believe you when you tell them half the shit you tell them. So. So I don't think they're replaying that in their mind, like, "Oh, my dad's gonna fuck me up."
Like,
They're like, "No, he's not."
What tripped me out is in her phone, she has My Hero as my name.
Wow.
When I first seen that, bro, I was like, what the fuck, you know? Like, damn.
That's heavy, bro.
Yeah.
So I am doing more than I see myself fucking doing. I know this, bro. I know I work hella hard. When I show up for work, I work hella hard. The gym, work hella hard. Recovery, work hella hard. Because you know what? Like, these are what I stand on. I built belief in myself. You know what I mean? I know who I am regardless of you fucking seeing it or not. I know how I fucking talked and moved a few years ago.
Yeah.
Bro, my talking was hella negative, bro.
Yeah.
It was like nigga this, blood that, and fucking, yeah, bro. It was like, like you couldn't have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
It was just so fucking negative, bro.
Yeah.
All I had to talk about was what I was experiencing at that moment. And it was a lot of fucking damaged decisions, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's who I am today. You know, a lot of people didn't know me in my addiction, and I'm glad. I wasn't a blessing to be around.
Yeah.
Like I told you earlier, I was either stealing somebody's shit you were with, robbing one of your friends. I wasn't somebody that people would invite places.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're going to the fucking club, the bar, like, you should come with us. Nah, because I was fucking causing some shit, bro.
Yeah.
And today you got invited to a wedding.
Yo. Like, I was the best man, or not the best man, but I was I don't know what they're called.
Groomsman.
A groomsman at my buddy's wedding, bro.
Yeah.
Like, to be, and we've been growing up in our recovery.
Yeah.
He's about to take 4, and I'm taking 4 in a few months. And it's like, you know, I know the growth I have today.
Yeah.
You know, I'm able to maybe not be there financially for people, but I'm there for people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm loyal to the fucking core. You ain't got to turn around if I have your back. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. Like, I'm not going to bother people. I don't fucking bother people, bro. Whatever Adam or you have going on, you guys have going on. Now, I could be concerned about it, but if I'm not there, it's none of my fucking business, bro.
Yeah.
And that's how I live my life. Like, if it don't concern me, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
Unless you say it in a meeting, it's none of my business. Even when you do that, still none of my business. That's why they say what you hear here, let it stay here. You know what I mean? That,
Yeah.
you know, so, yeah.
Oh yeah, Shane.
All right. Thank you, Shane, for coming on.
Yeah, bro. It was good. I got one question before we go. If there was one piece of advice you could give to somebody who's relapsed or who's struggling to try and get clean or doesn't know what to do, man, what would that be?
That you got to build belief in yourself. You know, get up every day regardless of wanting to. And like they say in the meetings, don't use even if we want to. We have 24 hours, no more, and take everything moment by moment. Second by second if you have to. But if something happens to you, make sure the next moment you're trying to grow from it.
Yeah.
You know, because you get to that point where something happens, and if you're trying to live in solution, is what do we do now? What happens next?
Yeah.
Right.
How do we handle the situation? And that's how it's got to be, man. If you want to grow, you got to be in that mind state, man. Build belief, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Shane, for coming on. We appreciate you. Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Yeah, for anybody who's listening, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, send this podcast to anybody who you feel needs to hear Shane's story. Be sure to follow us on TikTok and IG, which is the Message is Hope podcast _ between each word. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week.
As someone who struggled with addiction in the past, how does it feel to be able to give hope to others who are still struggling now?
You know, it's such an honor to be able to hear other people's experiences of life, to see how when faced with the very thing that was sent to destroy you, kill you, and take you out forever didn't, but rather you have been given a second chance to give hope and be a light for those who are still in the dark. So don't be afraid to share your message to the world. You never know whose life you might be saving.